I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, can I stay here for the night? I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No
Hello everybody, welcome to this very special Saturday night reaction stream with myself, Stevo, and Gary, aka FPL Have a Beer. Why is it special, Stevo? Well, the simple answer is because I literally have no idea what the results are today in the world of the Premier League. I'm fully aware that there is a game between Bournemouth and Brentford going on right now. I literally have no idea what's going on, obviously. But essentially, this is the story of today. This pointless story that you're about to listen to. So I was told by my brother that he will not be picking up his son until 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. So I thought, well, there's not much point in me waiting around till then. So I'll happily message Gary and see if he wants to do a 3 PM kickoff stream. He kindly said yes. I quickly got onto Alex Volo. Alex Volo, the legend that does our thumbnails. He said, no problem, I'll be able to do you a thumbnail immediately. So got all that sorted. And he just told me, look, just give me a couple of hours and it'll be all done. Pretty much once that was all sorted, my brother then messaged me saying, oh, I'm actually going to be picking up my son at 12 o'clock. Fancy joining me? Well, for me, I'm personally prioritising family time whenever I come down to Devon. So I'm like, right, okay. Message Gary to say, look, I can't do the 3 PM, but do you want to do the Saturday night reaction? But there's going to be a bit of a twist. I'm literally not going to know the results because I'm going to be out with my brother and his son all day long. Do you fancy doing it and revealing what the scores are going to be? And he said, yeah, no problem at all. Immediately messaged Alex Vollo, sorted all that out, and then here we are at 7:07 in the evening with Gary, aka FPL Have a Beer. Good evening, Gary, and thank you for doing this tin pot show with me, reacting to what's happened. We are live on YouTube, I'm assuming. Everything's going fine?
Yes,
so
yeah, everything's up and looks fine. Yeah, so yeah, not bad, mate, not bad. I'm glad we're doing it in the evening as well. It means I can have my trademark beer.
And what beer is that?
This is a Budweiser Czech lager. So yeah, it's been all right. And I've been keeping a keen eye, thinking about with your team in mind as well as mine, to see how it's been affected. And it's been a pretty. I'm not giving it away yet, but I'm just gonna say it wasn't boring. Remember last week when we did the 3 p.m. It was boring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit more exciting this week.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Whenever Mark and Az do this for the Saturday night reactions, I always, for me, like hearing what they thought would happen in the game week. So then the people watching this tin pot show are going to go, that didn't happen. Oh, he got that nail on the head. So firstly, I'll start with my team. For anybody that didn't watch the video with me and Jason, I did a -4. I got rid of Palmer, Cunha and Gakpo for Haaland captain, Chris Wood and Enzo. I've got today playing Flecken right now, and Burmo Visser. Bowen played earlier. Well, I'm just assuming they played today. Haaland captain, obviously. Wood, and that's all I can think of off the top of my head right now. I have a feeling that Haaland probably returned, but nothing to what I'm hoping it to be, like a double-digit score. Chris Wood and Haaland are kind of predicting are going to get similar point scoring. Maybe Chris Wood, maybe a bit better, give or take. Bowen's going to have done nothing. I think that with Brentford at the moment, it's probably, I predicted a 2-2. I'm going to go with probably 1-1 right now, maybe even Bournemouth winning 2-1. And Burma and Visser may have got some returns. The annoying thing is, Gary, is that I always like looking at the betting in the Daily Mirror. Like they always do, like, a random bet. So, for instance, Chris Wood to score today, but a header. That ain't going to be happening because all their bets are rubbish. And I knew immediately that my Haaland captaincy has done jack shit because they bloody put Haaland to score 2 or more goals. So that ain't happened. I know that for a fact. He ain't scored 2 or more goals because there's no way that these bets come through.
I'm dying to say so, Steve.
Yeah, I know you are. And the way my luck has gone this week. So when I was listening into your stream with Roberto on Thursday, obviously there was a lot of talk between you and Roberto regarding the panic of the blank game week, and Roberto coming up with some really interesting advice regarding don't bother doing a free hit unless you've got less than 8 players or 9 or less players. Don't bother playing your free hit. Just get through it, basically. And I thought, you know what, he's really got good advice. I've been saying all along that people are going to be they're going to be tripling up with Nottingham Forest. They're going to be a minimum of 2 Man City. They're going to be attacking the Southampton game. There's obviously tomorrow's games as well, of course. But if we're focusing on today's games, no one's really going to be touching Everton versus West Ham unless they've got Pickford.
Steve, sorry to interrupt you a second, but then I saw, do you remember I said to you when we were out on a walk last Sunday that Fantasy Football Scout poll said that only 10% of free people were free hitting?
Yes.
That number had changed to 35% by today. 35%.
That were free hitting.
Were free hitting. Yeah, 35%. I could not believe that. How reflective Fantasy Football Scout is of the wider game, I don't know, but I mean...
Do you know how the captaincy poll ended? Because there was only 18 votes in it last time between Wood and Haaland. Wood leading it.
It was pretty much neck and neck. I don't know who won it, but it was pretty much neck and neck.
Let's just say Wood edged it by about 20 votes, for argument's sake.
Yeah, maybe something. I think they were both on like 30% each.
I'll be honest, Gary. Right now, my stomach is turning because I have a clue. And knowing my luck, everything's failed miserably. Everything that I've done has completely backfired. So we'll get that out of the way immediately. But I want to ask you, because for people that won't be aware, unless Gary yourself put it out on social media, which I doubt, Gary was messaging me about a -4 he was going to do regarding taking out Trent and a couple of others and bringing in some very good players for a -4. Did you do that move, Gary?
That's exactly what I did. So I took out Trent. You're right, Steve. I waited. I watched Andy's deadline stream right up until you said it was a waste of time. Right up until 1:20. Then made the transfers I was going to make anyway. It was just like I've just watched the deadline stream, which I don't particularly find them entertaining for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, so I went Trent to Kirkes, Palmer to Semenyo,
Yeah,
and Cunha to Haaland. So not completely dissimilar moves to yourself, I guess.
And it's an excellent -4. It's brilliant. It's a really good move. And I just want to ask you, why were you, now I've got you on the call, let the audience and myself know, why were you in this panic state? I don't quite get it, because you do a channel in which you're talking to people about deadline streams and their mental health. And yet you were panicking about these particular moves when they were brilliant.
No, I wasn't really panicking about the moves. I think I was more panicking about how the game week was going to go, because I've dropped down to 500,000 last game week, which was the lowest I've been for some time. And it just feels like the last chance saloon to get, as I said to you before, Steve, I like to finish in the top 100,000. And it's almost like if it doesn't happen this week, it's probably going to be too late. Do you know what I mean? I know there's still a lot of time to go, but yeah.
Well, I've deliberately put the chat up on the screen now. Hopefully it's coming through, which the answer is I don't know, unless someone is chatting away. I don't have a clue, but I've deliberately...
We've got 6 comments, but no...
Right, cool, okay. So it should be coming through in a minute, hopefully. But either way, it doesn't really matter. So, right then. Let's get on with it, Gary. Let's get on with, off the top of my head, in chronological order... or alphabetical order. From what I remember, it was Everton versus West Ham. Now, I'm going to give you my prediction. I went with Everton to win 1-0. How did it go?
Okay, so I'll preface this by saying I didn't listen on the radio. I followed on BBC Online, and then I've watched the goals on Sky Sports. So, I can have a look. Do you want me to have a look at the stats in the game and stuff, or just tell you what the?
However you want me to do it, I would probably just say give me the results and then.
Okay. Well, it was 1-1. Soucek scored from a Bowen assist. You'll be glad to know. Bowen also, even on the Sky Sports highlights, he had 3 or 4 pretty good chances. It looked like he played well. And then Everton equalised very, very late.
Don't be Beto.
And it was O'Brien with a Ganna assist. If that
O'Brien scores again.
Yeah, if I can have a look, it was very late in the game. I don't know. About 90th minute, 90 plus 1. So yeah, I lost the clean sheet as well because I had Pickford. He had a good game as well. He made quite a few saves.
How many for you? Did you get 3 points or 4?
3, I think. 3, yeah.
How's the bonus? How's the bonus points in that game looking? Well, is Bowen going to get anything?
We have O'Brien, Soucek on 3, O'Brien on 2, and Ganna, however you say his name, on 1. Bowen is 4th, unfortunately for you, Stephen.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well,
I don't think a Bowen return is.
That's good.
I mean, they're away from home. I thought you'd be happy with that.
To be completely frank with you, I'm just thinking about Haaland blanking. That's all I'm thinking about. Haaland has blanked and it's gone complete tits up. So, okay, so 1-1 between those two teams. We then move on to who's next in the alphabetical. Ipswich? Ipswich Forest?
Yes. Okay, yeah, this one is.
I went with
the most interesting one.
I went with Nottingham Forest to win 2-1, maybe even 2-0. But 2-1 was official in Super Brew.
Okay. Let me. I'll tell you the score first, and then see if you can tell me how many.
I don't want to know this now, do I?
Well, I mean, just to preface, you do own Chris Wood, don't you? You just haven't captained him.
Great. I don't want to hear this now.
Wait. Okay. Wait. So, 4-2 to Nottingham Forest. Who do you reckon got? How many? Well, let's just go to the thing. How many returns do you think Chris Wood got?
Goal and an assist.
Blanked.
What?
He blanked. He blanked. I couldn't believe it. So this is the one that's pissed. The only thing that's
I'll be honest with you, Gary. I'm praying Jason went through. Well, probably knowing my luck, Haaland's probably fucking blanked as well. But I'm praying Jason went through the captaincy on Wood.
So this is the one thing that pissed me off this week was I don't know if you had tuned into this part on my live stream. Yelena recommended I bring in Milenkovic.
Yep.
And I ignored her and brought in Kirkes. We'll get on to how he done later. He scored and got an assist. Alanga got 2 goals.
Oh, Mr. Reed, did he have
goals as well? I think he's about 7% owned overall. Effective ownership.
I wonder if Mr. Reed kept him or not. I can't remember if he kept Alanga. So hold on a minute. So Alanga scored 2, yeah. Milenkovic scored 1.
Got a silver, scored the 4th, and Elliot Anderson, Milenkovic, and Gibbs White with the assists.
So from a who got the Ipswich goals and assists?
I don't know the pronounce this guy's name. Juste. These were both really very late in the game, with a Clark assist, and then Hurst in the 90th minute with an O'Shea assist.
So from a free hit point of view, no one was mentioning Alanga. It was just either Gibbs White or Hudson-Odoi. No one was even talking about Alanga.
When I looked at Twitter earlier on, there was a lot of Milenkovic. I think a lot of people went for Milenkovic. So I think from this game, he's the one that would hurt. But having said that, Chris Wood not blanking for me didn't captain him. I don't even own him. Was wonderful.
Well, Yelena on her vlog joked about how Az has now jinxed Wood, and now you can add me into the pot that I've jinxed Wood because I've brought him in, and he's done nothing. So
you didn't want him to score anyway because he was above 100% ownership, so you would have been losing points if he'd have scored. So he was more of a cover for you, wasn't he? So I think if you just owned him and didn't captain him, it was a pretty much a nothing. A much of a muchness what he did because you're not really gaining or losing that much.
4-2 to Nottingham Forest. Okay. I don't have a clue what the next EHIJK. I'm assuming it's Man City.
Do you want to do? Should we do the bonus points for that one?
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, yeah.
So we've got Alanga, obviously with 2 goals. There were some two really good goals as well, or at least his first was. He's on 3. Milenkovic. Oh, yeah, Milenkovic. No, sorry. Juste of Ipswich, however you pronounce that, is on 2. And then Milenkovic is on 1. So Milenkovic is going to end up with what? 1. He's going to be on over 10 points. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10 plus the appearance points. So he's going to be on about 11 points. So anyone who had Milenkovic is laughing. I think Andrew FPL Nightmare might have bought him in, and a few other people. Alex Follow said on Twitter, I recommended bring Milenkovic in 3 years ago. So
okay. On to Man City, who I predicted Gary to win 3-1.
Okay.
Again. Sorry?
2-2.
Brighton, the informed team at the moment, continue not losing, and they've drawn 2-2 with Man City. For the love of God, please tell me Haaland got a goal in that game.
He did. You're exactly right, though. He got 1.
Just 1 goal, that's it. No assist.
No assist. So Mamouche did pretty well. He got brought down for a penalty, which Haaland duly converted. Stupinan then scored a wonderful free kick, Steve. It was a wonderful free kick.
Stupinan. I remember him.
And then Mamouche hasn't, for some reason, it hasn't got the goal scorer for Brighton. Let me have a look on BBC website. It hasn't got it on the FPL.
Mamouche scored a goal.
Yeah, Mamouche scored, and that was a great goal as well. A Gundogan assist. Gundogan.
But Foden done nothing.
Foden, I don't even know if he started. No, he didn't even start.
Did he come on?
He came on for Silvino, which is weird. Bernardo Silva came on for Silvino at the 58th minute, and then Foden came on for Bernardo Silva 20 minutes later. So I'm assuming Bernardo Silva must have got injured.
Please tell me, Gary, that Haaland is going to get a minimum of 1 bonus point.
He, at the moment, let's have a look. He is on 1 bonus point. So Mamouche is on 3. Yeah. Gundogan is on 2, and Haaland is on 1. Didn't Jason bought in Mamouche, didn't he?
Yeah, about a month ago. But he bought in Haaland this week.
So he's going to be laughing at this then.
Who got the second goal for Brighton then?
It was an own goal, which is why I think it's not on the FPL website.
So Vardio did nothing.
Kushanov. And Pedro Kushanov, I've got no idea. I've never heard of him.
Pedro, sorry.
He played. Yeah, Pedro looked like he missed a couple of chances from what I saw in the highlights as well in the second half. João Pedro, obviously.
He got nothing in the game.
No, he didn't, but he had a few chances. He got booked as well, apparently.
So far, from a free hit perspective, people were going for Mamouche, Haaland, potentially one or the other, but mainly Haaland. So far, if I'm honest with you,
Vardio, a lot.
Vardio, yeah.
Vardio, he's conceded to.
Yeah, so far, from a free hit perspective, it's not gone well. Because the goals and assists that you're telling me, not many were picking, from what I can gather from you. Okay, so Southampton Wolves. I went with Wolves to win 2-1, maybe 1-0. Basically, they win in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is really irrelevant to FPL now, isn't it? I don't think anyone's...
No, Ain't Newry, a lot of Ain't Newry owners. Yeah.
So it was 2-1 to Wolves. Strand Larson, don't know if anyone owns him still.
Yeah, Blonde.
Scored both goals.
Yeah, Blonde, well fucking done. For fuck's sake.
He's got him, isn't he?
Yeah, of course she fucking has. Unless she free hitted, which I doubt, but...
Yeah. Bellegarde with 2 assists for Wolves. And then...
Shout out to Roberto. Roberto did mention him in a post about people under 5 million who's worth bringing in for this free hit. He did mention Bellegarde.
Who's that? Bellegarde. Okay. Yeah. And then...
So Ain't Newry did nothing.
Nope. No, he's not even on a bonus point. Strand Larson, Unana, Onakachu, something like that. Some Southampton player who I don't know the name of scored, and Diblin got the assist to their goal. He's on 2 bonus points, and then Bellegarde is on 3 bonus points. So yeah, not really a lot there relevant to FPL unless you're blonde.
Unless you're blonde, yeah. Unless you didn't free hit. So far again, there's been no real free hit players coming through in that game because Ain't Newry was one of the players potentially. So on to the final game then, where everybody seems to own Bournemouth assets, where my Katara will not have started, so we know that. Brentford again, and Bournemouth, Visser, Flecken for me. Give me the damage, Gary. What's it ended? It's clearly ended now, the game. I went with 2-2.
You forgot to mention you had Utara, who didn't start.
No, of course I didn't.
So this one was quite good for me, Steve-O, and not bad for you.
Clivert, by any chance?
No, Clivert. It's 2-1 to Brentford.
Oh.
Visser with a goal, and Buemo assist. And Oh, God. Yeah, I've got both of them as well. So, and for me, the other bonus was that Kirkes, who I bought in instead of Milankovic, He didn't get as much as Milankovic, but he did get an assist.
Again, for who? Who scored?
It was another own goal for Jan out,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Burma and Vita got a goal and assist. And who got the assist for Norgard?
No one, according to FPL.
Flecken, how many? Did he only get 2 points, or has he got a save point?
Flecken, you're asking me now.
What are you looking at? Some PC from 1963.
Well, he got 5 saves.
Well, that's all right. That's good.
But he's only conceded 1. So I guess what would he be?
3 points then.
Yeah, no bonus. Bonus in this one was Norgard, Vista with 2, and then Burma with 1. So we've done all right out of best Vista and Burma at least, Steve.
I'm just putting the schools up on the team up on screen. How are you feeling, Gary? For me, I have to say the biggest shock is by far Wood blanking in a 4-2 victory. That's disgusting.
I absolutely couldn't. I mean, I was delighted as someone who doesn't even own him, particularly because my other move would have been, if I hadn't gone to Haaland, I would have gone to Wood, and I would have captained Wood. So for me, that is about that's a 12-point difference. Oh no, 10-point difference. Because if I'd have got Wood in and captained him, so I was delighted by that. The only negative I had was Semenyo was also booked, which meant he only got a point. So yeah, I think I'm. Sorry, Siva.
How many points are you on?
I am on 30. Well, I'm on 36, but I took a -4, so I'm on 32. And I'm
on 30. Okay.
I'm on a smallish green arrow at the minute, up to about 470,000. But I've still got still got 5 players to play. So I'm hoping by the end of the game week that might be a decent rank wise.
How are you? How are you? Kind of. Well, I'm just trying to. Your screenshots are terrible, by the way. What you sent, that is shocking. What kind of junk is that? So while I'm trying to edit your pictures, how are you feeling about them today?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, mate. I'm pretty happy. I mean, I guess Haaland could have gone bigger. That would have been nice. But in terms of, I mean, the main thing, Steve-o, is like after last week when we were out, when, I know he didn't do, but I was worried about Palmer hurting me. I've looked at the effective ranks, and I don't really think there's anyone who can really hurt. Well, I don't think there's anyone who can really hurt anyone now. There's, above like 10%, 15% owned. I mean, obviously, if someone at that ownership scores, it's going to hurt a bit. But there's no one on like 20, 30%. I don't think so. And with 5 players to play, I'm pretty happy, and I'm definitely think those who free hitted may, I don't think it's going to have gone that well. I mean, presumably if you free hitted, you were in a terrible situation, so you might be doing better than your normal team would have done, your regular team. But I don't think anyone's going to be getting a massive score.
As it sits right now.
Massive score. Oh, sorry. There is one player still with massive ownership. Bruno Fernandes is on 60% ownership, and he plays tomorrow, doesn't he? So against Leicester, I believe. So that's the only player in all the games tomorrow who's really highly owned. I don't know.
Was Haaland anywhere close to getting more than the 1 goal, or was it just a case of he's just plodding through as he always is at the moment?
Well, I only watched the highlights. I think he may have missed one other chance, but it definitely didn't look. It didn't look. I don't know what's happened to him in Man City this season. They're just not the same team, are they? But yeah, I can have a look at his XG maybe.
Well, it's over. The truth of the matter is that it's down to the simple fact of they've got Leicester next. and the people that have got him in for that particular fixture. Again, I know it's like about 8 months away, but that's when we're hoping for it to be profitable. To be honest with you, that's when we're kind of hoping it will be profitable. And I've got your team up on screen here. We've got Pickford left to play, Gabriel, Anderson, Jimenez, and Trossard and Odegaard. So you're really hoping that Arsenal win and win to 0, a bit like me, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, if they do well tomorrow, and Jimenez, I'm not saying I'm particularly expecting them to. Their ownership, which is like, minuscule. I could have a really big game week, but I'm not expecting that. I'm just looking. Haaland's XG was only 1 point. Well, it's basically 1. So considering he had a penalty, which I think is classed as 0.78 XG, he basically didn't really do anything. Yeah, and facts they're saying in the chat, Haaland missed headers, Doku didn't play through ball, Haaland did not look threatening.
Well, the poor bastards watching this shite. So facts, Sean, Shagar, Lucas Dunn animations, Blonde's here. I only have 8 Nuri, so she got rid of, oh dear. FPL Lard. Iron Blue, Harry Dawson, Insane Gamer, JS.
Animations.
These poor bastards are watching this bloody shite. In all seriousness, Gary, I feel... Because the average... So, if we're looking at your team here, so on a free hit, the goalkeeper could have been Sells, could have been Pickford, could have been anybody really, but the main picks was Sells, am I right in saying? Sells, Pickford, is that right?
Yeah, Sells, Pickford. I think some people went Raya.
Maybe a Nana, but they were the popular ones. And then in defence, it would have been what? Kirkes, 8 Nuri and...
Gvardiol,
Anya.
maybe a Forest defender.
Yeah. And then
I think honestly, I think from the free hit teams, and this will only be like a percentage of the free hit teams, Milenkovic is the only one really who has done much, and people could have bought him in who didn't free hit as well.
Yeah, and obviously in midfield it was the like you said, Fernandez, Kluivert, Semenyo, combination there. You had Savinho potentially. Again, whoever discussed this, the pickings were very slim. Brentford, people were looking at, and Bournemouth, and then if you're really punty, you could have gone with a Spurs midfielder maybe, but again, Gibbs White was the popular ones, and these people haven't even come through with anything, Gary.
Well, I said it on my live stream with Roberto the other day. I thought free hit. I mean, Andy, Let's Talk FPL Andy was even talking about wildcarding at one point. Now, to be fair, his team was in a mess, but we both advised, unless you were absolutely screwed, not to do it, because it just didn't seem like the upside was there. I mean, particularly as well, a lot of people have got rid of Salah now. Me and you have still got him. I mean, I might captain Haaland next week. I don't know, but they've now, assuming they're going to probably want to get Salah back either next week or when they wildcard, then they're going to have to probably pay an extra 0.6, 0.7 million for him. And it's well, I guess if you free hit, that wouldn't be the case, but if you wildcarded, that would be the case. So, yeah.
I'm just going to quickly. This is going to be the most dullest on the planet. I can't put it up on screen because I'll be here literally all day and it's a waste of time. I'm going to deliberately look at Blonde's because Blonde's actually watching us live, would you believe? It's a miracle. So she didn't play free hit. She had Pickford, Milenkovic, 8 Nuri, and Burmo, Visser, Wood. She's got a Langer on the fucking bench. Oh, fuck off. Fucking hell.
Is Langer going to come on?
Well, yeah, because she's deliberately brought him in this week and deliberately benched him. So she did Trent and Altanga out for them two.
I hate it when people do that.
And then, she's got Alanga coming off the bench with 13 points, and she's still got Palmer, Neto, Gabriel left to play, with Alanga coming off the bench and Robinson coming off the bench. But she captained Wood. I don't think that really matters with the fact that she's got such high standard of player coming through. I always look at Firetog's team to see what he did in the end, and he didn't.
Palmer and Neto are up against Arsenal. I don't think they're going to. I mean, they might do something, but not necessarily. I mean, that could only be 6-8 points tomorrow, maybe. You know, I wouldn't go into the game week if I was, the next tomorrow if I was blonde. I'd go in hopeful, but I wouldn't go in expecting massive returns necessarily.
Firetog did 4 transfers. I'm assuming 3, but he did Trent, Hall, Palmer, Marmouche out. Fuck me! What the fuck? For Vardiol, 1. Nico Williams, 1. Cliver, I'm assuming 2. Haaland, captain, 12. But he got rid of fucking Firetog. Oh. Mate.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
His team: Pickford, Robinson, Gabriel, Vardiol, Nico Williams, Hoyson, who only got 1, and Burmo, Cliver, Naweri, Haaland captain, and Wood. Firetog, mate, come on. Fuck me. Getting rid of Mamouche when he's playing in this team, in this particular game week, mate.
Well, he was dropped last game, wasn't he? So I think a lot of people got.
Oh, yeah, but. Right, I'm going to deliberately bring up Dan's team because he's got a.
He said in the chat saying he's captained.
Yeah, fuck off. Oh, I can't be saying that, Gary. Apparently that's against the law of that. I'm going to deliberately bring up Dan's team because we've got a free hit team here. So we got a free hit team, and Dan, he's on 36 points as we speak right this second. And fucking go down. Here we go. So Dan's team is Pickford in goal. Load up. Pickford in goal. Vardio, Kirkes, Gabriel, Gibbs White. So Gibbs White got 5. And Burmo, Cliver. He's got Fernandez, Wood, Haaland, and Evan Nilsson. He's one as well that people brought in. Gary.
Another blank. Well, if this doesn't look too far off a typical free hit team. I mean, he's basically done the same as us, and he's got 2 players left. So I think that shows the free hit, unless he only had, like, I don't know, 6 players, 7, 8 players starting, it's not really worked, at least so far. Would you agree?
I'm going to bring up Jordan Brennan's team, who's top of the YouTube chat league. He hasn't wildcarded, Gary, but I'm going to make you feel good about yourself. Okay, so he's 1,900th in the world. He's top of the YouTube chat league. You probably don't even watch this, so I don't even know why I'm highlighting this person's team because they don't even fucking participate in this. But I'm going to bring it up anyway. So this is his team. Pickford, 3. Greaves, 0. Vardiol, 1. Anya, 1. Cliver, 2. And Burmo, 5. Ortaga, whatever. Dango, 1.
Dango.
Evan Nilsson, 2. Wood, 2. And he's got Palmer captain, Cucurella left to play. 17 points as it stands. That's a player that's 1,937 in the world. I'm going to see if he took a hit or not. And the simple answer is no, he didn't. He did Gakpo and Trent out for Evan Nilsson and Vardiol. So that brought him for free a total of 3 points instead of 0.
I mean, that's not a terrible team on paper, is it? Apart from Greaves, I guess. Maybe Cucurella.
Did Greaves not play?
Well, actually.
He got 0.
I don't think he did. No, I think O'Shea played instead. They've sort of been like rotating them, haven't they? Or they seem to like take it in turns.
Sorry, Gary, I have to bring up Christian's team. I forget what his bloody name is on YouTube, but I know last week he was 9.
FPL Zeitgul.
Zeitgul, yeah, Christian, real name. Again, if people want to feel good about themselves, And this is going to make you feel good about yourself, Gary. This is going to make you.
I like Zygal. So
well, I'm not saying you don't have to hate him, but it's just going to make you feel good because he captained Clivert. He's got Raya in goal. In fact, the players that he's got played today: Nico Williams, Tarkowski, Lewis, Bowen, and Burmo, Visser, Wood, Clivert, captain. And he's got Palmer and Poro left, and Raya left to play.
A lot of the thing with these teams, they have hardly anyone left to play, and the ones we're looking at, the teams we're looking at, and even the players that are playing are not ones that scream to you necessarily they're going to get big points. I mean, Palmer always could, or he always has the potential to go off, doesn't he? But he hasn't been, and he's playing away to Arsenal. So,
well, knowing my luck, the old backfiring of. He does nothing against Leicester, but then against Arsenal, he'll come through with a hat-trick. So, Christian got
just comment in there, yeah. Sorry.
Got Rodgers and Chalobah out, and he brought in Clivert and Williams in. He's just
commenting 2 failed caps in a row could still be a grey arrow. Sad emoji. Well, so what's cycle in the overall rankings now? Can we see after last game week? Because
I just know he's 3,000th.
Okay. Oh, right. So he's lost
3,000. Yeah. Interestingly enough, not many free hitters so far, Gary.
No.
In fact, talk to Gary's Patreon league leader at the moment. Dear, well.
Harbour Boy, 21
points.
Wow.
He's got Gabriel Castagna and Palmer left. Sells Mikalenko, Williams, Dango and Burmo, Bowen, Wood, Captain and Beto today. The question is, because it's so close in there, Andrew Ferguson's had a stormer. We mention Andrew every week on Patreon. 45 points, Gary.
Awesome. Who's he got?
Well, I can see already he's got Ortanga. Alanga, sorry.
Well, that's going to make a big difference.
45. I wonder if he took a hit, though.
He said he wasn't going to be able to watch live tonight. He said he'd be watching back in the morning, so it'll
don't bother. Save your time not watching this shit. So, 45. He has got, I don't know if he took a hit on that.
Alanga's carrying him a bit, isn't he? Well, he's got employment on Visser.
Alanga, Halland captain, Visser and Burmo. He's got Robinson left. That's the only player he's got left. Robinson and Gabriel. But transfer-wise, he did it for... he did a -4. Palmer and Isaac out for Alanga and Halland. That is a move, Gary, isn't it? That's paid off dividends.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd be interested in? I don't know if you can do this, Steve, as we go along. See who players, people who didn't wildcard have kept. Because I'm interested to see how many people kept Salah, possibly Isaac as well. Do you see what I mean? Because a lot of people, even if they have made gains this week, I think if they've got to pay 6.7 million to get Salah back in their team, it neglects some of that advantage they may possibly have got this week.
But it's Jason, isn't it? Jason has to bring back Salah.
Is he? Okay. Well, a lot of people have done it. Andy, let's talk FPL. Andy did it. There's lots of people have done it.
I'm not even going to be a hindsight merchant here. I think... Let me just look at the scores again, just as I go through. So if we look at the scores here, I think free hitters are going to have to come away with this very unlucky, as it stands right after today. Nottingham Forest winning 4-2 and Wood blanking is an horrific outcome. Man City 2-2 with Brighton and none of the popular Brighton assets doing anything in that game whatsoever. You then have Brentford winning 2-1 against people bringing in a lot of Bournemouth assets. And I think Wolves is the standout, don't you think, Gary? With Strand Larson, no one talking about whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a. I'm just trying to find out if there's a way. I don't know if anyone's on the chat can tell me how to do this or tell us. I'm wondering if there's a way. I know there probably is a way. I mean, I literally only use Live Rank to check my position, but I'm wondering if we could check how many people actually did play the free hit this week.
Let us know in the chat.
5% on FF Scout sounded far too high to me. I can't imagine it's that high.
Let's do a poll. Did you play free? It may help if I was actually writing that in the fucking thing. Did you play free?
I mean,
yeah. Start.
I mean, depending on what happens tomorrow, and I guess really what happens with Bruno Fernandes, would you say it's a wasted free hit if someone used it this week, Steve?
Yeah.
I mean, unless they literally had 6 players, in which case, getting 30 points might have been worth it. But
if you played free hit, the only players that most free hitters will have left is Fernandes. There was talk of the Fulham assets, mainly around Jimenez, if anybody. Spurs, I didn't hear a single. I barely listen to FPL content, but when I do go on X, I don't see anybody mentioning Spurs assets other than me, who was saying about Son. And Arsenal, Chelsea, no one was bringing any of them in on free hit.
No.
I'm
feeling really good about with 5 players left, Steve. I'm feeling very, very, and somebody who's not on free hit, I'm feeling very positive about this game.
Yeah,
I think you should be as well, really.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a selfish bastard, and I've clicked the wrong bloody team. For fuck's sake! So I look at Dan's team, and as you just mentioned there, Dan's team pretty much represents, give or take, the majority of free hitters. He's still got. I don't know why he's got Gabriel in his team left. I don't quite understand.
Steve, Pudna's just come through for us. Get this: basically 1,200,000 free hits, 220,000 wild cards played this week. I mean, the wild cards doesn't surprise me that much, but it's a lot of free hits. I mean, particularly when you think the number of active players now is probably going to be 5 million, maybe. It's not going to be 11 million. It's about 20% of the game. So that FF Scout poll was not a million miles off what I think people have actually done. Dan.
I don't know why Dan would have Gabriel. I know he's an Arsenal fan, but Gabriel in the team left. I mean, I'll tell you what, Gary. The biggest win for me tomorrow potentially is if Arsenal keep a clean sheet. Unlikely. If they keep a clean sheet tomorrow, that is massive for me.
Well, it also means Palmer won't have done anything, which is probably is equally important to us.
But he hasn't done anything for 6 weeks, Gary. So even if they won 6-0,
but then it'd be typical that this is the week that he bloody does it, wouldn't it?
And this is my point. It goes against my luck. And here is Dan's team, former of this parish. Yeah, Pickford in goal, Vardio, Kirkes, Gabriel, Gibbs-White, and Burmo, Kluivert. Fernandes tomorrow, Wood, Haaland, and Evan Nilsson. I think for me and you, Gary, you're right. The people that have still got 3 to 4 players left, in a way, they're kind of winning, in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it can all go to shit tomorrow, obviously, of course, but unless Bruno Fernandes, I don't know, gets a hat trick or whatever, and what's the chances of that? I think we're looking pretty good, Stephen. Both our teams, and of course the main thing is we've still got the free hit to use either in a double or a blank, either in 34 or 33 or whenever. We've still got that under our. Yeah,
and Roberto did make the point, and I said it to Ray as well, that look, using that free hit later down the line when the blanks are going to be more. The free hit's going to be more needed because there's going to be more blanks.
Yeah. So
when it gets to 34, whatever bloody weekend it is, there's going to be less teams playing in that blank, and the free hitters could take advantage of that factor.
or we could be like this week and we all free hit and get absolutely nothing out of it.
Well, yeah, but you've got to remember, people are probably, like Ray made the point this morning, that we're going to be, well, I've already told you and anybody this, Jason, that we're going to be wildcarding in 31. And by which point we're going to have a lot of information by then to know when we're moving forward. I know, Jake, I know Ray is very bullish on bringing in and having Haaland for the rest of the season. We've still got Salah as well. Me and Jason. Me and Ray.
Right, yeah, and so have I, and we're not going to have to. That's what I'm saying. I think that's one of the other big things we've got over people who maybe wildcarded or got rid of him this week. We're going to save 0.5, 0.6. I mean, I'm not getting rid of him, even if I don't care if he's got a double or not. I'm not getting rid of the player who's broken the FPL record with quarter of the season remaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got their Carabao Cup, which unfortunately I doubt I'll be able to watch tomorrow. And it's on ITV. The Carabao Cup's actually on ITV. Which
is it? Is it? Awesome. I'm gonna, as a Newcastle fan, of course, I'll be watching.
So yeah, it's. And I'll tell you what is frustrating, Gary, is this the simple fact that we have to wait 2 and a bit weeks for the next bloody game week. Painful enough as it is, this particular game.
What would you say? What would you say to anyone who's thinking about perhaps their team's in a really shitty place? You know, about wildcarding this week.
What would I say to them?
My advice would be only do it if you really, really feel you need to. And secondly, don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I guess you could I would say leave it till like, if you feel you need to, leave it until maybe a week or so. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so much that can happen in the international break, plus the FA Cup matches that are on in 2 weeks' time. You know, there's a lot can change in the next 2.5 weeks, both in terms of your emotions and in terms of the actual state of play of FPL, in terms of players being injured and stuff.
Yeah, my advice would be fuck them. I'm sorry, Gary, but I'll be honest with you. The way people have been attacking me this season, whether it's in chat or on the comments, seriously, fuck them. Like, me and Ray I'm depressed enough as it is with this game. So anybody that's got their team in a situation where they're a bit stuffed for game week 30, 31, etc., and they don't know how to approach it, not my problem anymore. It never was, but it's got to a point now where, like I stated, this legitimately could be my last, or a year off, which reminds me, actually, I just reminded myself, but this could be a year off next year from FPL and then maybe quitting it full stop. But you mentioned earlier about your video with Ray getting a lot of views.
Oh yeah, that was really weird.
What's that all about?
Well, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea. So I just noticed. So I've put. I don't. Have you seen my comment I put on your last Patreon video?
Steve? I've not read any of it. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you reply to that on Patreon. But basically, he only got 300 views. Ray was kind enough to come on, and I interviewed him about giving up FPL basically back in November, maybe late November. So best part of 4 months ago. Got about 300 views at a time, which, you know, for a relatively small channel like myself, FPL Have a Beer, by the way, please do check out and subscribe. You know, it was fine. And, you know, it pretty much stayed at 300 views until earlier on this week. And I looked at my channel analytics, and all of a sudden it got 500 views in 24 hours or 48 hours. Which sort of brings it in terms of views up there to sort of approaching the number that the interviews with guys like Az and Let's Talk FPL, Let's Talk FPL Andy have got, you know, the interviews I've done with them. So I messaged Ray and he said, well, I shared it with a couple of mates, but they're not going to have watched it 500 times.
Yeah.
But the strange thing is, like, if 500 people had been clicking on it and watching the interview, it would have been fine. But the watch time for the interview has gone up by like maybe an hour. So the only logical conclusion I can come to is someone basically wants Ray's interview to be highly rated. Maybe Ray's sitting there pressing refresh on the on the thing, but it couldn't even be that, because I think YouTube has a thing where, you know, if someone does that, it will only count like 2 or 3 of those as views. You know, it won't let you do that, so you can't falsely, you know. So yeah, just really weird. I don't know if anyone in the chat has any idea why something like that might have happened. I mean, not that I really care, but it's just it's just.
Talking of the chat, they're arguing amongst themselves about the bonus points. You carry on arguing; it's good for the algorithm. But did you play the free hit? The poll is 33 votes, and the answer is no. Basically, Gary, only 15% played their free hit this particular game week. I've deliberately put Jason's team up on the screen, barring Marmouche.
Elite FPL viewers, of course, would know what they're doing, so they would have been in a position where they wouldn't have had to have free hit, obviously.
Of course, yeah. They make sure they tune in for all the tips.
I come on and compliment your viewers rather than tell them to fuck off.
What was there was a complaint about me from somebody. It was on what was it? It was on a YouTube comment, and they went, I'm a regular viewer of this show, but I will not be watching anymore because I'm sick to death of Steve-O telling us viewers to fuck off. And I thought, piss off, you loser. If you don't get the irony in what I'm saying, then you don't understand this channel, full stop. But yeah, I've got Jason's team up on screen at the moment. He's still got Cucurella, Palmer, Fernandez left to play. He had Marmouche, Wood captain, he did continue with that. Haaland, Foden. So Foden didn't start, as you stated. And Burmo, Murillo, Kirkes coming with him. Fabianski in goal, which obviously he's got no goalkeeper. Wait a minute. No, he hasn't got a goal. He didn't have a goalkeeper, full stop. So, yeah, he's on 30. Well, he's on 26 points as it stands right now because of the -4. But he has got no Salah anymore. So, and in the next game week that's upcoming, it's going to be Liverpool at home to Everton, Nottingham Forest at home to Man United. But he has got the power move of 3-Man City versus Leicester, and he's got Palmer for Tottenham, Gary, on the Thursday. So I think Jason's better set up for game week 30 than he was today, to be honest with you.
What clips does Jason have left?
He doesn't have wildcard. He has everything but wildcard.
Well, he's missing the most powerful chip in the game, then, isn't he? Basically, particularly at this time of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. He may be better off for 31, but you and Ray are going to be hitting your wildcard in a week or so. Yeah,
so he's got obviously the assistant manager he used as well. So yeah, both wildcards gone and assistant manager. And as me and Ray,
why did he wildcard so early?
He just said he wanted to clean up his team, to be honest with you. So how me and Ray are going to attack this game week is basically we're going to obviously be looking at the game week 32 double, which is Crystal Palace and Newcastle. So I've already said to Ray, look, it's Mateta, Isaac, and that's pretty much a lock for them two. And then maybe having an additional... Wildcard. Yeah, this will be on wildcard, and maybe additional player like Gordon, and then maybe Henderson in goal. So we'd have 4 for that. But other than that, I'm not particularly interested. And then I don't really want to be looking at Arsenal players anymore. But again, I'll be listening into Ray's advice regarding Arsenal. Obviously, Aston Villa will be having a double game week coming up within that time space between 33 and 38. And then we know that Man City have got to have a double game week as well. Newcastle's fixtures are looking pretty tasty, and the fact that they're really challenging for Champions League spots, they're going to be pushing on. Tottenham could be a team to be looking at, but really, me and Ray are going to be trying to target those double game weeks coming up, which of course we're going to have a lot of information regarding the doubles around that time, Gary, and I'm sure what you're going to be wildcarding game week 31, 32-ish?
I'm pretty sure 30 because I'm relatively happy with my team. I have a mate taken that -4 this week. I'm relatively happy with my team. I mean, it's good having Bournemouth because they're up against Ipswich. I've got a couple of them now. I'm not sure who else. Let me have a look. I'm relatively happy with my team, so I'm pretty sure 31. Particularly as I think the odds, people are saying the odds of the information about the doubles coming out before the game week 30 deadline is pretty low. And even if it does, it's probably going to be like 1 o'clock on the Tuesday afternoon of the 1st of April when the deadline's at 7. And I don't. Well, I work on Tuesday anyway, but I don't want to be trying to put a wild card together in a couple of hours. So yeah, I'm pretty sure 31. Sorry, when they've got 3. I mean, why not take? If you've held out this long, why not take the information? I mean, if it comes released on Game Week 30 and you feel you have the time to put together a decent wild card and think about it, fair play. But otherwise, I'm going to hold out to 31.
Yeah, Christian's saying he's trying to wait until game week 32. Harry Dawson making the point here that the second wildcard is probably the best and most powerful chip in the game. Peppermint Freedom saying regarding the assistant manager chip is probably the most powerful chip in the game, but not by much. What do you think on that comment there, Gary?
Well, if anyone who watched my live stream, have a bit FPL .com. What am I talking about? FPL with Roberto this week. We looked at the variance. Did you see that part of the stream?
I listened to it. Yes.
Yeah, basically we looked at the variance. I mean, so the issue is, in terms of the number of points you can get, yes, the assistant manager chip potentially is the most powerful. But the issue is, this season at least, everyone played it at exactly the same time. In what was it, game week 24, and the variance of between like the most popular use of the chip in terms of the 3 managers or the 1 manager, depending if you transfer them, was about 15 points. So if the variance between the best and the worst choice was about 15 points, it's not that powerful, is it? And even though next year presumably we'll be able to use it earlier than 24, it will, the engaged managers will do probably as they usually do and use it at a similar time, in which case it won't be as powerful. Peppermint supplying a point taken. I believe very powerful system manager kick is possible in game week 36 to 38 with potential doubles. That's true.
And this is it. I think a lot of people, including Firetalk, for instance, there's a lot of chips still to play at hand, and I think for me and Ray, it truly is a case of we're hoping that our chips pay off to where we can just really climb up the ranks and get into a 6-figure overall rank by the end of it. Because
where have you had a look on FPL Live to see where you are?
I haven't, but I'm going to be roughly probably 1.2 million, give or take.
What's your team? Do you know your team ID?
The ID is, as I'm about to tell you right now, it is 1820915. So I reckon I'm about 1.2 million. I've had a game week rank of 958,000. This particular
You're 1.3. You're still basically 1.4. You're 1.38.
Shit. It's shit, yeah. And like you, it's very difficult to move, Gary, isn't it? Because what were you again, 500-600k?
Yeah, well, I've gone up after today. I'm back up to 400, but that's basically where I was stuck. I've been stuck for the last 10 odd game weeks. So, I mean, it would be lovely if tomorrow my differentials, which pretty much all my players are tomorrow, differentials kicked off, and I finally ended with the week with like 300,000. Even if it was just the top end of 300,000, it'd be lovely just to see a different finish apart from you're still in the 400k. You know.
Yeah, this is exactly the point. Tomorrow, this is unrealistic predictions. Arsenal to win to 0 and Fulham to win to 0. These are unrealistic predictions.
With Odegaard and Trossard both scoring hat-tricks.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Arsenal aren't going to keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. There's no way Fulham are keeping a clean sheet against Spurs. And then we're hoping that Fernandes does nothing against Leicester.
Yeah, that's the big one. The free hit is still
a free hit point of view, yeah. And this is exactly the point. The free hit stuff is the main talking point coming out of this particular stream. Gary, is there anything to add before we get out of it?
No, I don't think so, mate. Good luck to everyone tomorrow. Please do check out my channel, FPL Have a Beer. I've got a interview coming out with Mark Summons on Tuesday where he discusses the history, basically his FPL career and creating Fantasy Football Scout and basically everything he's done. Black Box, working for the Premier League, why he took a break, and loads of other stuff. And I have regular interviews coming out like that, including one with Steve-O, which we did back in, was it October, November time?
Yeah, and you said you want to do a preview, didn't you? A preview with me for Gameweek.
Oh yeah, and we are
a month's time.
Well, yeah, because I noticed now you as well. Now, especially now you guys aren't. Did you want to say? It's up to you. Do you want to say why you're not doing the previews and Sunday night? No,
me and Jason have just decided that video format for our lifestyles at the moment, specifically around Jason's, is more fitting, and it's just virtually impossible doing live stream with Jason. So it's just easier for us to do a video, and then anything that we do live will be around, i.e. something like today, where it's literally needing to be live, and any watch-alongs, obviously, I'm stating the bloody obvious, but for now it just suits Jason.
You've always got myself and Ray you can jump on and help you.
Yeah, I mean Ray can't do anything at the moment because he's basically off for Ramadan. So,
but that's only a few more weeks, isn't it? I think before.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so he's unavailable for the next 2-3 weeks, and then he'll be back up and running. And then we're going to be planning to do a video together regarding our wildcard plans. And then, people like Shane, for instance, I love streaming with him, but unfortunately he's just so busy. And that's the hard thing, isn't it, Gary, to be honest with you, that it's aligning the times. Like me and you are very flexible, but
yeah,
others aren't.
We're single and don't have kids, which helps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that old joke, isn't it? From
Extras. The morbid truth.
Exactly, yeah, and let's not mess about here. I am finding that videos seem to be more popular with people. To be completely honest with you,
I saw a few people commented on it. It's nice to hear you guys doing I think the word, I don't know if the word, but generic FPL video.
Yeah, it won't be. I mean, it's still going to be just two blokes chatting absolute twaddle while discussing FPL. There's no denying it, but it's just not going to be live, and you don't have that. With live streaming, it feels like an obligation to go on and on and on and interacting with the chat and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that, but for Jason's time specifically, he hasn't got the time to dedicate. Like yesterday, for instance, he literally had half an hour. Like if it wasn't for a cock up my end, where for whatever reason the camera wasn't loading up, he would have been able to go on for an extra 5 or 10 minutes, but because of circumstances, he had to be out within at least 30 minutes, done, gone. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your auntie's brother, whatever the bloody saying is. But certainly, the truth of the matter is, like I stated with you, this channel is going a way in which I don't know what's going to be happening next season, to be honest with you, and it's going to be a tough decision to make. But as we discuss on your channel to death, really, if it's affecting your mental health, so to speak, or it's something that you're just not really enjoying playing, then what you're doing it for. Even Adam on your stream the other day, or video, whatever, interview, said about it's a game, you can easily delete it, which is true. It is true, you can just delete it. So it's going to be a decision which is going to be very tough for me to make. But I'm sure by the time it all rolls round again and the enthusiasm picks up and whatnot, it's going to be a case of carrying on. I mean, I was reading into Nightmare's comments, actually, Andrew's, about doing drive-along videos, and I was actually genuinely thinking just doing literally my own separate channel and doing FPL drive-alongs with Steve-O, where I'm just literally uploading a 10-15 minute video of me driving while chatting shite about FPL, and that's it, done. So they're just so easy. They're just so easy to do. And it's, it's content which you can easily put on Elite FPL, and, with the channel being shadow banned and whatnot, it's very difficult to, be pushing the videos and stuff out there, because YouTube are basically going, nope, don't give a shit who you are, you don't care, go away. So it's because obviously you're going through this with your own channel about where you're wanting to go with it and how you're going to be pursuing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm quite the opposite of you at the minute. I'm trying to start doing some streams on top of the. So my channel, for anyone who hasn't seen it, is probably best known for the interviews now, where I've had like lots and lots of massive people on from the community, like Praz, Let's Talk FPL Andy, as Mark Summon's coming on this week. But those are, I mean, Steve, I know you watch pretty much all the videos. They really are about the history of those guys' channels, how they got into FPL, their FPL history. They're not really talking about the current game week. And I can plan to keep those going as much as possible, but it's going to come to a point where I run out of people to interview, or at least I run out of interesting people to interview. So I'm trying to just start doing a game week preview reaction or whatever. And at the minute, I'm just doing it with mates that I can get on. You know what I mean? Like Roberto the other night. I think, as we said, hopefully you're going to come on for this game week, even if that's in about 2 weeks. Yelena said she's going to come on when she's got a laptop sorted out, and you know what I mean. So at the minute it's just kind of like trialing it, but I'm hoping next season I've got kind of a plan to do something more structured. But I'll tell you the one thing: it's the stress of live streaming from your end as it is now, but my end when I live stream, setting it up is a lot, and I'm hoping it gets easier as you continue. Steve, but yourself, you see Steve, you see Mark, and you see Mark Southampton and as on Black Box struggling with it even now. Sometimes they mess things up, or they say, if you listen back, oh, this is the third attempt to start recording, you know what I mean, and they've been doing it for so many years, so presumably it doesn't get that much more that much easier, but yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it, so I'm just going to keep going for as long as I enjoy it, Steve. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. The one thing that in all seriousness, the one thing that I do enjoy about the FPL world is that I'm able to go on FPL Juice, have a laugh with Ash, Nick, and then James, then whomever is the guest, and of course doing streams with Jason, yourself, Ray, etc., Shane, and Roberto and whatnot, and just being able to have a laugh. It's just it's funny you mention like people like Yeller and stuff, is because I want to invite these people on. It's just the whole hassle of, hi, can you come on this week? No, I'm not available this week. What about next week? Oh, I can't do next week because of it. It's just this constant trying to fix up with dates. It just drives me up the wall. This is just me in life. I just want to be able to just literally. I'm
trying to arrange interviews with FPL General and James Planet FPL, and they both said they're going to come on, but these are recorded interviews, so these are not things that are live. It could be basically any time they want, and it's over the international break, which is 2.5 weeks, where they're not going to be recording content, and it's still an absolute nightmare trying to arrange. So trying to arrange a stream like this, where it has to be at a specific time, on a specific day. Yeah, absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and just to finish on that, just my team that's up on the screen at the moment. It's looking like it's being a decent game week so far. I think that me and Gary can celebrate at the fact that we have come away from it actually not hurt at all, considering we didn't use our free hit. And hopefully,
and if tomorrow goes well, maybe even up.
This is exactly it. We're going to have to be praying for a blank from Fernandez. Really, well, for me, Palmer and Fernandez to blank, but I'll be putting 50p no matter what. If I'm not out on them to be performing. All I will say is that look, FPL's on live at the moment. Go and do an Elite FPL raid. Go over to him. Go and support. Tell him that Elite FPL Steve. Tell him Steve-O. As Data Brent says. Tell him Taffy. Tell Taffy that I sent Neil and Neil agrees. Okay. But tell him Steve-O sent.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah. Make sure you hit the like button. That's what I give a shit about. Making sure you hit the like button. At least, there's been at least 60 people watching us. Those 60 people, at least 40 of you must have liked this bloody stream. Make sure you hit the like button.
We're up to 85 at one stage, Steve. That's the most. Most. I think this is about my 6th or 7th live stream on there now. And I think that's the most I've seen.
Good lord.
So we're obviously desperate to see your reaction to the days of
Yeah. Well, that's another. In all seriousness, that's another thing that's really bad for me and Jason is that with any YouTube channel, the only way you can be successful is if you're regularly streaming / putting out videos on the same days at the same time. We don't do that. We just literally are like, want to go live? Yeah, why not? See you at 7 or whatever. Like me today, it's just see you whatever. But yeah, other than that, yeah, thanks again for watching. And me and Jason, or me and Gary, or me and Shane will catch you at some point in the near future. God knows when that'll be, but hey. So hold on a minute, when's your video coming out? Next Tuesday, isn't it?
Mark Owens next Tuesday, and then interview with the awesome Nick of FPL Juice will be coming out the following Tuesday. And I'm also thinking at some point next week, Steve-O, I'm going to record my own video on is all FPL content the same? But so I might release that at some point.
Can I join you?
And also we've got to do our
tier list.
Our tier list that won't be coming out on my FPL channel, but yeah,
we got to do our comedy tier list where
I've got 21 notes to make, and then sorry, mate, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to be the professional in that, whereas I'm just going to be explaining why The Office and Faulty Towers are just pieces of genius.
I'll try and finish my notes on that tonight.
I literally quoted that today. Faulty Towers, funny enough, is just stuck.
The problem, Steve-O, is going to be getting through the video without you just constantly doing impressions. These are supposed to be serious, insightful tier lists.
Yeah. It doesn't need someone just constantly going, "You having a laugh?" Wiggling the old tie. I know you can't see me, but I'm just wiggling the tie and.
Well, a little bit of that, Steve-O, to show how much you love the content.
I think there's been a rape up there. Get their. I got his attention. Get their attention. Yeah, not exactly the thing I was looking for, was it? I phased you, okay? Maybe I could be the hotel. I've actually, funny enough, I've been watching The Office in order.
Lunch.
Yes, that's lunch. I've been recently watching The Office, and I've been laughing at really obscure jokes. I know, again, you can't see me, but at that moment where Tim says about, I'll cash in some stamps when I get an opportunity, and Dave the Brent's just like, shouldn't have to. And I was legitimately crying at that moment. And also,
cashing some stamp. Oh yeah,
with
the Queen. It's legal stamps.
That's it. Yeah, and also the bit about when they're in the quiz night, and he says about which insect produces gossamer? Finchy, and he's just there, really concerned. Look, like I can't think, and he goes, "It's a spider, an arachnid. A spider's an arachnid, not an insect." And it's just the way Finchy goes. You need to spend a few terms at the University of Life. David Brent's like, just there going, yeah, there. See, you should be knowing this. You should be knowing this. That's the real quiz. That's the real quiz. And Tim's like, yeah, that is the real quiz. It's ridiculous. And that's the thing when you've seen
universities for losers, Steve.
Yeah.
My students are probably going to click saying that now.
Gary, I think we need to get out of it.
Let's gather, mate.